It's Diwali time, and what can the festival be without fireworks? But it's not all about celebration. This tiny town of Sivakasi in Tamil Nadu holds within it the tragic tales of thousands of workers who risk their lives every day to bring a smile on our faces during the Festival of Lights. Headlines today brings you this special investigative report on the fireworks factories of Sivakasi. Every firecracker that we use has a story behind it. Poverty, greed and misuse of power are hidden behind these fancy fireworks. For decades, social workers have been pointing out irregularities and loopholes in the system. But nothing seems to have changed in Sivakasi, which continues to be on the edge.
On September 5th, 2012, a massive explosion in Om Shakti Fireworks factory in Sivakasi killed 39 persons. The initial investigations revealed official apathy and violation of rules in a factory that produced firecrackers worth crores of rupees.
The explosion, if at all happened, it will be like a military bomb. So instead of a fireworks cracker, it becomes a military bomb inside a factory. Even those people are not qualified or educated people, people who knows chemistry. So they are all by tradition they become a foreman with a basic qualification of some 10th standard, 8th standard, that much they go and apply and they get it. But basic chemistry they don't know. So they don't know about the chemical aspect of their raw materials.
90% of fireworks in India are produced in Sivakasi. Barely a month later, everything was back to business. Headlines today traveled to Sivakasi to record the blatant violation of rules.
We are inside one of the most prominent fireworks industries here in Sivakasi. Headlines today investigations has revealed that there is gross violation of rules here. We saw the crackers, we saw the fireworks being prepared, the chemicals being mixed outside, while the rules very clearly state that it has to be prepared only inside a shed, inside a room that's been designated. But we saw most of the workers sitting outside and working, which is a gross violation and it is extremely dangerous. Number two, safety norms for the workers have been completely violated. While nylon saris or nylon cloths were not allowed, all the women, almost all the women who spoke to us and who are working in this factory were wearing only a nylon sari or a polyester sari. And also they were not provided any safety equipment, be it gloves or be it the headgear or be it any kind of other safety instruments or safety measures have not been taken care of in the industry. This is what Headlines today has found out.
After the recent accident, 8 teams formed by district authorities and controller of explosives have been raiding the factories. Shockingly, most of the factories have been found to be violating rules.
A combined team of officials from the controller of explosives, revenue, police, inspectorate of factories, labor, health, fire and rescue have been formed to conduct inspections, detailed thorough inspections on all the factories to check whether there are any violations and if any found to take appropriate action against them. So far, out of the 689 licensed factories, inspections have been done on 611 factories. Violations were found to the extent of warranting suspension in 57 factories, and the controller of explosives suspended their licenses.
Rules are hardly followed and human lives not valued. In Sivakasi, workers get paid based on what they can produce per day, so the focus is on speed and not on safety.
ஒரு 1000 சரம் பண்ணா ஒரு 8 ரூபாய் 50 காசு.
So நீங்க ஒரு நாளைக்கு எவ்வளவு பின்னுவீங்க?
நாங்க 20 சரக்குல இருந்து 25 சரம் வரைக்கும் பின்னுவோம். வேகமா பின்றவங்க 24 25 ரூபாய், மெதுவா பின்றவங்க 18 19 கூட பின்னுவாங்க.
Nobody wants in their factory no accidents, but unfortunately it happened.
சிவகாசியில எந்த நிறுவனங்களுமே முன்னோடி நிறுவனங்களே செய்யறது இல்ல. அது காரணம் ஏன்னு தெரியல. அது அடிப்படை விதிகள்ல வந்து சின்ன சின்ன மேட்டர் தான்.
Despite being monitored closely, in Sivakasi greed rules life and no lessons are strong enough to deter death and accidents. Sivakasi profits on the vagaries of chance. Till the next accident, all is fine here. With Priyamvada and Sivakasi, Chandni for Headlines Today.
Sivakasi was once notorious for child labor. Though authorities flaunt statistics that on paper say it has been eradicated, we found matters to be slightly different. Headlines Today reveals how child labor is still used, but in a different form.
For many decades, Sivakasi was notorious for child labor. But the government kept claiming the child labor has been controlled. In fact, fearing action and media attention, even factories have stopped using children. But poverty ensures that children continue to slog, only in a different way. They work from homes now. Children prepare the fancy covers and paper rolls for crackers. We found Radha preparing boxes and rolls for crackers at her house in Sivakasi.
உங்களுக்கு என்ன ஸ்கூலுக்கு போலியா படிக்கணும்னு ஆசை இல்லையா?
படிச்சேன், வீட்டுல கஷ்டம், நல்லா போல.
எவ்வளவு பேர் இருக்காங்க வீட்டுல?
நானும் என் தம்பி இன்னொரு தம்பி 3 பேர் இருக்கோம்.
Radha claims she's 15 years old and she's been into this for almost 7 years. The 50 rupees that she earns per day goes to feed her family. For Radha's mother, it's not just about feeding the family, but also saving up for her daughter's wedding.
பொண்ணு ரொம்ப சின்ன பொண்ணு இருந்தாலும் அது ஏன் வேலைக்கு விடணுங்கிற ஒரு நிலைமை உங்களுக்கு?
அவள் நிலைமை இல்லை, படிக்க போறதுக்கு வீட்டுல நிலைமை. பையங்க 2, ஒரு பையன் 7, 8, 12 வயசு பையன் 8 படிக்கான். பையன் 7 வயசு ஆகுது, சின்ன பையன், அது 3 படிக்கான். அது பொண்ணை மட்டும் வேலைக்கு வச்சுக்கிட்டேன் வீட்டுல கஷ்டத்தினால.
அது அடிப்படை விதிகள்ல வந்து சின்ன சின்ன மேட்டர் தான். அது சின்ன சின்ன மேட்டர் கூட ஒரு ஊசியை வந்து மணல் செலுத்துறதுக்கு ஊசியை வந்து பித்தளை ஊசியை பயன்படுத்தணும். அந்த பித்தளை ஊசியோட விலையே ஒரு 4 ரூபாய் தான். ஆனா பித்தளை ஊசியோட வாங்கி கொடுக்கறது இல்ல.
The irony of the region is that Virudhunagar, district of which Sivakasi is a part, is well known for high pass percentage in school exams, as also for producing toppers. But then, there are the child labourers of Sivakasi like Radha, for whom schooling is a distant dream. With Priyamvada and Sivakasi, Chandni for Headlines Today.
Headlines Today confronted the officials responsible for the tragedies in Sivakasi. This is what they told us.
When we go there are 105 violations. Tomorrow there will be 5 violations.
We confronted the collector of Virudhunagar district with our findings. But despite our attempts, he refused to comment on camera.
Self-regulation is must.
By the workers or the factory owners who are Virudhunagar district collector Hariharan refused to comment on camera. However, he told Headlines Today that it is very difficult to ensure that rules and regulations are followed by the industries. Simple reason, lack of cooperation from the controller of explosives. Because it has to be a team effort. Both the central and the state agencies have to join hands to ensure that everything is followed here in Sivakasi. But he claims that the complete cooperation does not come from the controller of explosives. For example, when licenses are suspended by the district authorities, these same licenses are restored back to the industries by the controller of explosives without even giving intimation to the district authorities.
Apart from the licensed factories, a lot of unlicensed manufacturing has also been going on. The district administration has all the responsibility but hardly any power with regard to this. The power is vested in the controller of explosives. He gives the license, he is mandated to conduct the inspections, and it is his duty to suspend the license. We are nowhere in fact. We have to accompany them as and when they require us to go with them. The suspension of the 54 factories have been waived. So we are not, we don't have any role in this. They give license, they suspend license on their own. When accidents happen, responsibility is with us.
It is a blame game that the central agency and the district authorities indulge in. The controller of explosives also refused to comment on camera to Headlines Today. But this is the comment AP Singh, controller of explosives, made when we recorded the conversation on a spy cam.
You are coming by car or by scooter. You can falling down somewhere or someone can struck you. It is accident. They are not obeying the conditions and the rules. Relevant rules are given. There are 750 factories in this area. I and Saab and Siniraj cannot go every day to this industries. It's impossible. Okay. And one violation, today when we go there, there are 105 violations. Tomorrow there will be 5 violations.
The blame game is not restricted to official circles alone. Even politics has gotten into it. Taking the moral high ground, opposition parties blame the problems of Sivakasi on rampant corruption.
I think the level of corruption in that belt is very high. It's both corruption by the Department of Explosives, by the implementing authorities of the state government, by the Labour Welfare Department, the factories inspectors. It's had a history of corruption. You know, the classical thing is you kind of raid a factory and detect violations. You give a week for the entrepreneur to come and settle it in your office. You know, depending on the violations, your bribe goes up or down kind of a thing. And this has been a culture for well over 40 years in that belt, really speaking. People even pay bribes to the extent of 40-50 lakhs to take a posting in Sivakasi. This has been a continuing legacy of the past few governments, both at the center and at the state.
To add to the corruption and negligence, there are no proper roads and hospitals in Sivakasi, making it difficult for help to reach in times of calamity. The solution, many believe, lies in the converting of the whole firecracker making business into an organized sector. This would mean induction of better technology that would reduce accidents. The flip side being, it will raise the cost of production and even bring down profit. So for all practical purposes, that is not something about to happen in a hurry. With Priyambada and Sivakasi, Chandni for Headlines Today.
Persons have died and around 240 injured. Reality on the ground is that Sivakasi is a powder keg that can explode any time. It seems that human life has very little worth in this town. Commerce and profit evidently mean much more. In Sivakasi, the dead are easily forgotten and the injured live in pain.
8 years ago, Sumati was 29 years old, when a fire accident left her with deformed hands, leg, and humiliation to face the world with her scars. She got 10,000 rupees as compensation after the tragedy which occurred due to wrong mixing of chemicals. Today, she just gets 800 rupees per month disabled person's pension from the government. Mariamal's case is even worse. Her entire back and her right hand was burnt in an explosion due to the wrong mixing of chemicals 2 years ago. She did get a compensation of 2 lakh rupees, but her husband deserted her to live with another woman. The figures of death and injury at Sivakasi in the last few years is shocking. In 2007, 11 accidents, 29 deaths, 27 injuries. In 2008, 5 accidents, 3 deaths, and 5 injuries. In 2009, 10 accidents, 16 deaths, and 47 injuries. In 2010, 19 accidents, 42 deaths, and 22 injured. In 2011, 23 accidents, 44 deaths, and 20 injured. In 2012, 18 accidents, 55 dead, and 120 injured.
சிவகாசியை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் முதலாளிகள் தான் முழு பொறுப்பு. இந்த ஃபயர்வொர்க்ஸ் தொழிலாளர்களுக்கு அடிப்படையா எந்த வசதியுமே இல்லை. ஒரு இலவச இன்சூரன்ஸோ அல்லது வாரிய வசதியோ எதுவுமே செஞ்சு தரல.
In Sivakasi, there are accidents which are simply buried under the carpet, and those who fall victim usually get some meager compensation. Compensation that may be enough to clear guilty consciences, but never enough to sustain lives. With Priyambada and Sivakasi, Chandni for Headlines Today.
While Diwali is just a special day for most of us, for those in Sivakasi, it is their entire existence. A booming industry that prospers on the sweat, toil and lifeblood of those who labor in it. The return for the worker is his right to exist. For the factory owner, it is his profit. And for an ignorant India, it is the joy of blowing up money celebrating the festival of lights. Diwali means different things for different people. This is Priyambada signing off.